Welcome back. Wherever a president or president-elect goes, there of course has to be security. And that's been costing Bedminster more money than the town bargained for because the Trump National Golf Course is there and a lot of post-election meetings took place there. Sherry Karabin reports on the Trump imprint on Bedminster.
Thank you, Larry. While officials may be focusing on the potential for increasing expenses should President Donald Trump's visits become a regular occurrence, reaction among Bedminster residents and businesses is mixed. Some say there's a renewed sense of excitement in the township, while others say they haven't noticed any changes as yet. A media blitz unfolds at Trump National Golf Club as then-President-elect Donald Trump and his transition team descend on the area for meetings with cabinet candidates, just 10 days after the November 8th election. The New York Times reporting that Trump liked the look of the clubhouse facade for photo ops because it reminds him of Britain's number 10 Downing Street.
The visit in early November came up all of a sudden. I think we had about 48 hours notice.
Police Chief Carl Rock says he had to work quickly to accommodate a request by the Secret Service to help provide security.
We were asked to produce 144 man-hours a day from a 60-man department and still maintain police operations for the actual residents that are paying us. So it was a little bit crazy in the beginning. We had the assistance of the Somerset County prosecutors. They came in and allowed us to have some of their manpower.
It was quite an undertaking when you consider Bedminster has just under 8,500 residents. The historic township is home to publisher and former presidential candidate Steve Forbes and former New Jersey Governor Tom Kean. The more than 250-year-old township also hosted the late Jackie Onassis at a 1970s fox hunt at the Essex Hunt Club. But officials say there was nothing quite like the attention the township got the weekend of November 18th, when the president-elect and vice president-elect Mike Pence also turned out at this historic church for Sunday services. The cost for police overtime? Just over $3,600, a number the chief says could have been higher had all his senior officers worked. While the initial whirlwind is over, officials are preparing for what may have been a prelude of things to come.
So if it happened on a routine basis, my overtime line item could be gone as early as May.
To get ahead of the problem, late last year, officials enlisted the assistance of U.S. Representative Leonard Lance, who reached out to the United States Attorney General and others in the federal government to ask that grants and funding be made available to help cover security costs, should the golf club become a popular meeting place for the new president.
We'll certainly ask for reimbursement from November, but that was a very small amount in the bigger picture. We're much more concerned about what happens if it becomes a regular, if he spends weekends here like previous presidents were at Camp David.
During the campaign, the mayor says President Trump frequently visited the golf club. The 36-hole golf course sits on the former estate of car builder John DeLorean. The president purchased the property in 2002. According to officials, Trump National Golf Club is the second biggest taxpayer in Bedminster, with an AT&T network facility being the largest. The club hosts a wide variety of events, including this year's U.S. Women's Open, and the township has held several of its recent reorganization meetings at the club.
I've never had a sit-down discussion meeting with him per se, but I've met him once or twice, through the line, and hi, how are you doing? So.
And your impression?
I think what you see is what you get.
Located off the beaten path on Lamington Road, the police chief says he's getting reports of people driving by to snap a photo of the club's sign. This resident and business owner says all the media attention the township is getting generates a sense of excitement.
We've delivered there before. We've not seen any business with them recently, and that is due to, I would say, heightened security that they're dealing with, and the time of year being that the golf course is not working at the moment. It's off-season.
But she is optimistic about the future.
Hope for even extra business, knowing that if he's in town and maybe more people want to be there, and some people maybe have an interest in the town of Bedminster and they'd come and try some of the local fare that we have.
Over at the upscale restaurant, the Pluckerman Inn, where first daughter Ivanka Trump has dined, the manager is taking a wait-and-see attitude as to whether business might increase should the president visit regularly.
I don't really know. People certainly are asking a lot of questions. I think, it'll be interesting because the club is on the other side of town. It's a very private club.
But this former fire chief and realtor says he's certain the president's presence won't affect home sales.
I really don't think it's going to have any impact at all, either negative or positive. Bedminster and Basking Ridge has always carried a certain sense of prestige or status long before the golf course was here, and I think it'll continue to do so.
What does the future hold for Bedminster?
It's really hard to tell. It's a brave new world for us in Bedminster. I don't think it's something we ever anticipated, but we look forward to seeing what's going to happen.
Whether Secret Service agents become a fixture or an occasional occurrence, officials say they'll be ready. This is Sherry Karabin reporting for Jersey Matters.